Welcome back to the Sneaky Link Pod, y'all. I'm back. Like I never left. You know. Yes, you too. You're here too. Yes, Fritz is here, guys.
Everyone's back.
Coco is asleep, sort of.
We're all back on the couch.
I am your host, Hennessy.
Ooh.
I am Elaina.
And I'm Janelle.
And before we hop into it, make sure you're subscribed and all that good stuff. But you can take that part away.
Oh, I thought she was going to keep going for a second. Yeah. So before we get started, make sure to follow us on all of our social media platforms. Instagram, Sneaky Link Pod. I definitely messed that up.
I was like,
on the Metro That was funny. We're still road to 10K.
Almost there.
We're not too far.
We're almost there. Let's go.
Off, we're less than 1,000. I know we'll have a lot of views. Hopefully we'll have a lot of views on this video. So if you're listening to us or if you're watching us, please go hit that follow button on Instagram.
Tell your friends.
And if you're watching us on YouTube, make sure to subscribe, Sneaky Link Podcast. If you're not watching us and you're listening to us on either Spotify or Apple Podcasts on Sneaky Link Pod, subscribe to us on there too.
Please.
Or pause it and go watch us on YouTube or vice versa, whichever tickles your fancy.
Whatever streaming platform you prefer.
Yes.
Yeah, whatever you got to do to watch us or listen to us. Because,
Yeah.
man, do we have a lot to catch up on.
We sure the hell do.
We have so much.
This episode is going to be a little different because we're going to not do a lot of the extras we do and kind of jump into the recap.
But everyone's waiting for it.
There's been a lot that's gone down. We skipped an episode last week. It was just a really busy week. A lot of stuff was going on. Henny hadn't been here for 2 episodes.
I have not.
And of course, the week we decided not to record,
So much shit happened.
a bunch of shit happened. But before we get into that, Henny, what do you have on?
Okay. I have on the Beamer Sauconys, the 3D grids. These are the Claima stories, I believe. That's what it said on the box.
Yeah.
I know it's okay. Say I just missed her. I really like these actually. I love the materials on here. I love the purple suede. I love this off.
Show the bottom.
Oh yeah, it's his
That's
outfit.
Is it the brown hat with the purple sweater?
Or is it the purple? Yeah. No, it's the purple hat with the brown sweater. Oh wait.
No, I think it's brown hat, purple
okay,
sweater.
Yeah.
Oh, now I don't.
Oh, we're gonna pull it.
Shit.
I'm pretty sure it's
Damn,
brown hat.
I thought it was. I think it's brown sweater, purple
hat.
Yeah. Brown sweater.
Brown sweater.
Oh, you're right.
Okay.
Yeah. Purple hat.
Okay.
That's what it is.
I
There
had
we
it
go.
backwards. So there you go. The bottom issue. I
so-
thought that detail was very cool.
Yeah.
It's giving very much him. There's a little Portland detail on the back. When I do my on foot stuff on camera, y'all
They'll
get to
see
see
it.
all
They'll
that.
see it.
There's some 3M hints on here, which is actually nice as well.
The purple is very nice. I mean, I know
is.
it's like the color
His
of his
purple, yeah.
hat, but
Oh buddy from what is it? Howlin' Rays?
Johnny
Not Julian?
from Howlin' Rays.
Yes, he had I believe his name's Julian. Sorry if I messed it up. I'm pretty sure that's Julian. There's because there's multiple people who own it.
Yeah.
But he had replied to my story when I posted these and he was like, that's that Crown Royal colorway. And
Yeah, no,
that's
literally.
real nice.
Yeah. That is. That's like it looks like that velvety purple. It does, and then it has it's kind of like a gold, but not like a shiny gold.
Yeah.
So it does give that.
I'm telling you, and they are so comfortable, guys. But I know Saucony has always been known for comfort with their silhouettes in general. I was telling Elaina earlier, my mama, when I was growing up, she's a nurse, and all she kept on her feet was them Sauconys, bro. And she would always love to correct people when they would say it wrong, when they would be like, Saucony. She'd be like, it's Saucony, it's Japanese. And I'm like, girl, shut up. But Eve thought she knew. But she was a number one supporter of this brand. So I'm going to give her flowers there. But hella comfortable. I have on just some black pants, a little black top. I got on Elena's hat because I didn't want to do anything to myself today.
Listen,
we're struggling, y'all.
We are run down. I got sunglasses on. It's 7 p.m. at night, and I'm in the house and I'm wearing sunglasses.
Yeah. I wasn't doing the most today. Not too much.
Absolutely not.
Not too much.
Not too much.
Not too much.
I saw the
Not too
comment
much.
too.
Yeah.
So funny.
So
Yeah, we'll get into our week.
Yeah.
I think they're all inside jokes right now. But
What you got on, E?
I have on the sneaker of the year, according to Complex. Yes, I have on the AE1. I forgot what the.
do you have the tag on there?
I didn't want to take this.
She's got that tag on him.
Lucid Lime.
Lucid, huh?
Lucid Lime.
Oh yeah, shout outs to Miles.
Yeah, shout out to the Adidas fam. Thank you so much
basketball.
for sending these. They sent us all a pair of AE1s along with the Kareem.
Abdul-Jabbar.
Thank you, Jabbar. Kabar. Well, it was throwing me off because you wrote Kabar, and I was like trying not to say that. They're actually really nice. I believe this is the pair that we had seen in Tokyo. So and it's like that blue. It's very nice. But yes, thank you Adidas for sending these. Literally took these out of the box 15 minutes ago and put them on. I had my Bad Bunny Adidas on. I was gonna wear Adidas anyway today. And I put these on and I was like, I honestly kind of really like these. Honestly, I knew this was going to be sneaker of the year. We could talk about more about it later. I think we talked about it a few weeks ago, but I wasn't like I would say a personal fan. Like I just didn't feel like it was for me because I was like, they're a basketball shoe. I hadn't really seen them style. I think I haven't really seen too many women in them, I should say.
Yes.
Like, very few. I'm not going to say there's no women out there because there definitely are, but like I haven't seen too many women in them. But like putting them on, I was like, oh, these are really, really comfy. And I kind of like the way they look. They give me like foam runner vibes from like the top.
Yeah, I think that this
Like the
shoe is very unisex. I feel like a man or a woman could wear these because they look really good on your foot.
Yeah, they do.
They really do.
I think they're a 10 out of 10. And y'all know I don't, usually wear Adidas often, but I'm telling y'all, I think that's a nice shoe.
I really like this green color as well. And just got on some basic Lululemon leggings and threw on a Cause Uniqlo crew neck. I think this was from New York when Cause was in I think it was Brooklyn Museum or something. They had a bunch of shit like at Uniqlo for it because this was what was in the museum at the time.
Remember when those first dropped? It was everywhere.
Oh, the Cause
the
stuff?
Resale stuff on them was crazy.
It was crazy. I actually got to go to the museum when it out there during, because I think it was like this, if it was this one, I'm correct, it was like 2021. This might have been after, but yeah, the museum thing was really cool. But yeah, and I have on YSL classes because you can hear this voice.
Oh, and you got on the
She is
slime
struggling.
too because
Oh.
YSL.
You
You affiliated? You on Rico?
Wait,
Were you? Oh, you don't understand. Okay.
She said you don't understand this lingo.
So, YSL Slime, YSL Young Thug, that's his group. Young Thug was on a Rico. She got on the Slime and she got on YSL. So I thought she could maybe be on the Rico case, but he out anyways.
I gotta
Welcome
get
home.
I gotta get my Janelle.
I almost got a fucking cramp.
You did. But what do you have on, Janelle?
So I finally have on my
such a
Black
good shoe.
Toe Union ones. I unds'd them this weekend, but I feel like no one really saw my fit. So y'all gonna get it on the pod today.
She said, look.
Look, I'm wearing my shoes, guys.
You know what's so funny? Like,
Fire.
because I have the other pair, the Storm Blue.
Yeah.
I wanted the blue.
And when I first got them, I wore the fuck out of them.
Yeah.
They still look good, but me looking at those laces and how bright they
crazy.
are,
No, because
I was like, the laces is that bright?
yeah, I've worn the fuck out of mine, and I only put one yellow lace in, and like I was looking at her, and I have the glasses on, so I'm like,
Right.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't remember them being that bright, but like, I just wore the fuck out of them.
Like, cause it does, mine doesn't look like my whole shoe. It doesn't look that bad, but looking at hers, I'm like, oh yeah, mine are worn.
Yeah, mine's are, but you know what? They look good as they age
do.
too.
They look great age, and
Yeah.
honestly, I really want the new pair.
Yeah.
Me too. The Chicago
Yeah.
pair.
Yeah, I
This
think
is by far the best shoe they ever done.
absolutely.
They don't got nothing
Ones.
even hitting close to
No.
I
it.
like all of their ones that they've
Yeah.
Oh
dropped.
yeah.
I would say the
I
guava
really-
is a close second, but
Yeah.
Every single one
Yeah.
that they've dropped, I have so far.
Do you have the blue one?
No, I know the blue,
Oh,
but I mean like at least every
yeah.
drop of one that they've done. Like I
How
have
many have they-
these.
'cause they
I
did
have
the
both
lows?
wovens. with the Beffies, and then I have the AJKOs too, which I fucking love. Oh, I love that pair so much.
Yeah, it's a good classic like type
so
shoe.
I'm hoping for these Chicagos.
You had those on the day we met Brenton. I'll never forget that.
I'm dead.
I know. Look at me. Lover girl.
Oh, I did.
My
man. I can say
Come
it now.
on, hard launch. Okay, so I have on Nike socks too, and then I have on Nike leggings, and I have on a Mark Echo hoodie that we got at Complexcon. Shout out to the Echo people.
What up, Echo?
Mark
I
Echo.
like this a lot. I like the material, the felt on this.
Yeah, I like the
Feels
color
good.
with the red.
And your girl's hair is straight right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's gonna get washed this weekend though, because my hair is getting done for my birthday, which is also next week. So on the 29th, I'll be 30.
Okay.
Wow.
Dirty 30.
Oh, it's so fucking crazy. Ooh, anyways though, shit, should we just jump into it?
We're jumping
Let's
right into it.
Let's
All
go,
right,
bro.
So leading up to Complexcon,
Sneaker Twitter was in shambles.
okay, so
It still is.
It was already in shambles because of when the Sneaker of the Year panel
was announced.
dropped. The panelists and like the info for the panel dropped. There was not one woman on the panel. It was the guys from the Complexcon, the Complex Sneaker Podcast, Joe LaPuma, Welty, and Brendan, and then Lil Yachty and PJ Tucker.
Mm-hmm.
So that was already happening before Complexcon, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
So that happened.
There was a lot of
before.
uproar and a lot of opinions, and we haven't really got to talk about that either yet, and like how everyone felt about it. And it was kind of interesting because obviously a lot of men thought people were just making a big deal about it.
No, I think a lot of men actually had our back, or had women's back, but there were some men that didn't care about it.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
I think when it was initially announced, because we're so used to Joe LaPuma being the host and having 4 other panelists, I think the interesting thing was having all 3 of them from the Complex Sneaker Podcast, and then 2 other panelists, and it was all men. It was kind of just what the hell?
Yeah.
But I feel like they were kind of going in the direction of the 3 of them from the Sneaker Podcast kind of hosting in a sense, and then having the other 2. But still, it doesn't make it okay.
I mean, no, yeah. Regardless, there still should have been a woman's voice on there. And I know there were also talks about, well, what women would you want to see on there? And obviously it would have to be the right women. Well, actually, I don't want to say the right women, just a woman who's knowledgeable enough to give her opinion on the stuff that they were talking about.
I just think it's really annoying that the conversation got brought up about they've already had Vashti, they've already had a Laylee. Was Yoon on there at all or no?
I don't think so. Never for Sneaker of the Year. She's been in conversations, but not
so
that.
That's what it is. She's been in conversations. They had Kristen Nicole Crawley. Who else have they had? Is that it? There's no way it's just been 3
Has
girls.
Laylee done it?
Yeah, Laylee,
Vashti,
Kristen. There had to be somebody else.
I don't know. I don't think so.
But even with that, because guys are pointing that out, it's kind of just funny that I feel beyond those women that were already on there, that there are plenty to choose from. But it also is kind of annoying that people feel that you can't repeat a woman, as if Vashti can't come back on and give her opinion, as if Laylee May, which I don't know if she would want to, but couldn't come back on because obviously Clark Kent made it a thing. Oh, the tribute to Clark Kent was absolutely beautiful.
This is the second time doing
That's what
it.
I'm saying. So if men can come on here and be repeat panelists, why can't
how come
women?
a woman can't?
But I also feel I don't want Vashti or Laylee to be
the only woman face.
The only women
because they act like it's the only people that exist.
Woman savior in all of this, you know, they don't need to be our face all the time because they're also in different spots in their lives where
oh yeah,
I don't want to say
mommied out.
I do not want to say that they're not relevant because they still are in this space, but there are other women right now that are doing so much stuff in this space that can also be on that panel too.
Oh, absolutely.
I agree.
I know we've talked about Cynthia not necessarily putting her face and likeness out there often, but
I don't know what she
I think having somebody like CPFM and have so much do so many different type of shoes that we haven't seen at all. Like the Flea 1 and 2, which were absolutely crazy. But like, I think her opinion would be great. Like I mentioned, I think Yoon would be great. I think there's women that like work within Jordan that are super underrated that could have great opinions as well.
Yeah.
I think there's a million women to go down a list.
100%.
You know, would give good insight. Fritzy, can you quit licking yourself mid-show?
Come on.
Show too.
Come on, Bubba.
I was about to say this is a family-oriented show, but I'm lying.
So getting into that sort of.
Sorry, y'all. Gotta go.
You're gonna go where?
To the bathroom.
Oh my God.
You'll be all right.
Lord.
Janelle.
Henny. Oh, Jesus.
The way she opened that gate so quick. Prince is concerned.
Oh, man.
But
Okay,
as we were
let's keep
saying,
going.
as the conversation went on for a few days, you know, it kind of got things like not even like heated over Twitter. Like it was just a conversation.
It was just a really big conversation.
It felt like it was kind of like everywhere. And somebody in the Twitter space felt to add their 2 cents. And it just got really ugly.
Actually, a lot of men. At first, I was actually going at it with a guy who was like, "Why should a woman's opinion
matter?"
I seen that type of thing.
I seen that,
and I was like, "There's, oh dang, what did he say? He said something about a pussy." And I was like, yeah, dang.
This is Trump's America now, damn it.
I'm going to put it up here because I know I screenshotted it. But
that's wild.
Yeah,
that's
he said something about pussy. And I was like, well, there's women in this space, like not the only people who wear, I said the only, Jesus Christ, what the fuck did I say? Oh my God. I just know I said that like people who wear sneakers like don't all have dicks. Like there's other like everybody wears fucking sneakers, so obviously like we have a voice. In
Men
this,
aren't the only people with fucking feet. First of all, like we all got fucking feet.
Right?
We all, well, not everybody, but you know.
Yeah, and like we hold a lot of weight, and we have like a voice in this community and like this industry and stuff too. So like, yeah, we would love to have a woman on the fucking panel, but. A few days after that, when I thought everything kind of died down. This girl, Marissa Hill, who runs Shade TV in some shape or form, got on Twitter and said, as a leader in the sneaker space. And then I forgot everything else that she kind of said after that, because I was like, I tweeted back and I said, a leader in the sneaker space. And I put a little questioning GIF on there. Or GIF?
Which we will insert here.
The Oprah one.
Well, okay. So, we forgot to talk about this too. Like, how Sokjig came for...
That's what
Sokjig. Yeah, it started with Aria Hughes and Sokjig and this whole conversation from Complex. And it was a lot of stuff prior to this. Mm-hmm. So, so this was the response. But Marissa did tweet prior to I think the leader in the sneaker space thing.
No, this is after.
No, yeah, this is after. But I'm saying like prior to, I think that initial tweet, I can't remember if it was all wrapped in one or what. But it was something along the lines of like, there is not a qualifying woman to be on the panel in her eyes, which is absolutely like a pick-me-ass thing to say, first of all.
Because she also didn't provide any, like, solution.
Yeah, that part.
It made it seem like, there wasn't any women that could stand up against. Because then she tagged Welty, she tagged Joe LaPuma, she tagged Brendan Nunn, like, girl. So she tagged all the guys, too, and just, like, saying that they're well-diverse.
Well-versed.
And that they're not just one-sided, yada, yada.
Yeah, they're not biased because they wear a range of sneakers, which like that alone pissed me off because I'm like, you clearly don't listen to the podcast because Welty like literally only wears, I think, New Balance or something. Like one of them doesn't.
He likes Adidas a lot.
Okay, there you go.
Especially Spezials.
I think Brendan, but I think like Brendan, one of them literally only wears like one brand, if that.
Brendan loves Reeboks, but he also wears Nike stuff too. He just doesn't do it often.
Then it is loyalty that's very, like more specific, because I know Joe be wearing a lot of shit, but like I know they're more like niche wearers of certain brands.
Yeah.
And so I'm just like, how could you say that? Because like they are definitely like
they definitely be biased.
They definitely be biased. Like be so and I feel like it's easy for a lot of us, like in our space, like we love Nike. We're Nike girls. But you know,
it on us.
But other shit comes out too that looks good, and like to sit there and act like there are no other qualifying women within this space just shows how you're not a part of this space.
Basically, if I can say this, she was kissing ass on some pick me shit, so she could be, in her eyes, I guess she thought, invited one day to get on the panel, because that's how I saw it. She didn't have the balls enough to say, I think I'm qualified, because she was calling everyone else out for not being qualified. But she thought since if she kissed their asses, then maybe she would have a chance to be a person on that panel in the future. That's what I took from it, to be honest. And that didn't work. And it's so funny that she just was sucking their dick so hard, because we had those
like Little Yachty.
We had
Please sound like you said.
I know. Hear me out.
Okay.
But it was just funny, because for her to do all that pick me, same people were in my DM saying they don't know you. So
I think she was doing that to get their attention.
That's still some pick me shit,
I didn't feel like she was doing it
she was hopeful
to be on the panel. I think she
clearly can't be on the panel this year.
Oh,
that's already done.
No, that was
But I do think she was setting up kissing ass now in the future.
I definitely think she was trying to get some attention on herself. Definitely, for sure.
But this is the thing this is the same girl we talked about a few months ago on the Syndicate episode that was talking about J-tips and talking about socks and all this other bullshit. And it's been said before, and I said it on the episode. I didn't want to give her the limelight, and I don't want to give it to her today, but I do want to address some of the shit that she said, because she personally came for us in our podcast. So now, since you made it personal, we're going to try to not make it super personal, but yeah, like you do shit for rage bait, clearly, like,
and everyone's called her out,
and everyone's called her out for it. And it sucks that it's like you were spitting numbers, because one of the things when Janelle replied to this, talking about leader in the sneaker space, question mark, that she was like, we add more subs in 1 month than your podcast was projected to do in 5 years.
She said 18
million unique visitors watch me monthly across all platforms and streaming channels, and that's without twerking or flashing camel toe for my brand family friendly audience. And I said, bitch, we ain't no family friendly podcast.
We never
claim to
be. Yeah, you know. I would also like to say thank you for acknowledging our fat mas over here, you know. Honestly, because calling us saying something about our camel toes is not an insult at all.
At all. Chloe calls hers Camille.
Oh my
God. Chloe, if you ever watch episodes, Chloe's camel toe is like famous.
Oh my God, that's hilarious. I should name mine now.
I swear it's so funny. But like, honestly, like to try to personally attack us and our brand and what we do, and discredit all the work that we've put in for over 1.5 years now in building the space and trying to lift yourself up again. Pick me is absolutely insane. Like, I hate women that are like this, and people in general that feel like they have to dim your light to make them shine brighter, because that's just ugly fucking energy, and it shows. And it was backlash, and nobody had your fucking back, and anyone that did is as goofy as you. So join the fucking circus.
And you can't dress.
And also,
and we're not here to pick on you. I'm like, I just want to say that too. I'm not going to be like, oh, they're bullies, they're this, they're that. Like, no, you brought this upon yourself when you try to when you try to like slut shame us, essentially, bitch. Like, and I don't care if I'm saying the B word is endearing for me sometimes. So,
and also, I just would like to add, and you're a hypocrite, because our beautiful supporters went and found photos of you in your camel toe. And here's the thing, Marissa.
No, it was not a camel toe. It was her tits.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm
so sorry. Okay, not a camel toe. In your panties and bra.
Oh, that was definitely
and whether it was for your portfolio or paid or whatever.
That's fine.
That is fine, baby. That is fine. But you also walking down the streets of New York City with your titties out, and you calling us
and some Supreme Dunks.
What size do you wear? Like a men's 10? I would like to know, because your feet are really big, by the way. But
we're not gonna body.
No,
we're gonna edit that out.
Don't you take it out, Janelle.
I wasn't going to.
Don't
I'm
edit
not
it out.
Any of this shit out.
Don't edit it out.
Because I'm like, because this is the thing as well. Like, she hopped up on live after that with Rafi, I believe his name is. We didn't get to see him at Complex this week, and he wanted to run into us because he also wants us on his streaming services, which we will be in the near future. But I think it's just, it's insulting and actually crazy to sit there and say that we degrade women when our whole podcast was here and meant, and the foundation of it was to uplift women in this space. But since you want to put everyone down around you, and then you want to cry boo-hoo when people do the same shit to you, it's hypocritical.
Like,
she says she has timestamps, and I would really love to see
send
them.
it to us, because if that's the case, then correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, because we'll talk about it.
We'll run the receipts. I have no issue with that.
I just feel like degrading is a very heavy word to sit here and act like we're not for women, because I pride myself on being for women. I'm not perfect. I'm not going to say I talk about every woman in the most gracious way, because some women don't deserve it. Some people don't deserve it. And like, honestly, you don't have to like everybody. You don't have to get along with everybody. That's not the point of all this. But but it's the thing that you, Marissa, you talk with a superiority complex to people in these spaces, and that's why no one respects you, because you walk around and you think you're better than everybody else, and that's not true.
Yeah, and self-proclaiming yourself as a leader was the most ridiculous thing I've ever.
If she was smart, Marissa, I'm going to give you some advice. You should capitalize off that and make t-shirts, but
somebody,
please.
That's crazy. Because also your numbers don't mean shit at the end of the day when it comes to community and culture, which you kept trying to press people about the definition of. Like, girl, because of that alone, you're good. Because of that alone, like, you don't fucking get it, and you actually never will. Because really, even on that live with Key and with Kari, like, you kept pressing them about what does community mean to you? Define Complexcon. Like, bitch, what the fuck? Also, where were you at if you're the leader in this space? Were you even at Complexcon this weekend? Like, come on.
Also, I would also like to add this as well. It's because I see this consistently in anything that we usually have issues with people on the internet. People be so quick to start shit with us, but as soon as we clap back, you play victim, and that's not cool. Like, the whole, I remember you when y'all were sending the stream of how she kind of like leaned more into this whole victim thing of us. We attacked her and we did this and we did that, and it's like, baby, you started it.
Yeah, and you came for our twerking and camel toes first. I said nothing about
her body, your streaming, your numbers. It was just like, you're out here, you're talking goofy. You're talking like, it just kind of was a very shocking statement, to say the least, because none of us sit here in this space and act like we're better than somebody else. Like, we may be talk big shit on here sometimes and pop off and like, you know, but we're never like literally looking down on people. Ever. It is all love. And like I said, we don't have to get along with everybody, so it's not always.
We ain't for everybody, and that's okay.
Yeah.
And then that is perfectly okay.
That too. Yeah. I think after when she said that twerking shit, I was like, we're not for everyone.
I said we're not a family friendly audience, like podcast.
Whoever wants to listen to us and watch us, like, they're going to watch us and listen to us. Like,
that's fine.
If it's a kid, but like, I'm not pressed on our demographic like that.
Absolutely. And it really showed out, because she was emphasizing the numbers, and that's great. Good for you. But at the end of the day, with our numbers, our small numbers, whatever you may refer to
your 18 million unique
we had a community behind us. What? The amount of people that rallied for us, and that's why you felt attacked, because it wasn't just us three defending ourselves. We had so many other people jumping up and defending us.
We didn't ask them to do it. They did it on their own.
Yeah, people were just doing it off the rip.
I've seen sneaker women coming. Karina. I've seen women come out of the fucking woodworks that I haven't seen in years online. I was like, oh.
And then even more people that like didn't know about us at all come to our defense and just be like, oh, like, I'm now a fan of you guys
because of that.
Yeah.
And it's funny because a lady from Nike, which I will not name because people don't like to be, all views are my own. She took me to the side after the Sneaker of the Year conversation. She said, you know what? So that so-called leader in sneakers, we've never seen her on a deck. We've never talked about her. I didn't even know who she was until this day. She's like,
I heard a lot.
And she said, you know who is on those decks? You guys. You know who comes up in those conversations? You guys. You know who gets invited to those focus groups? You guys.
We'll talk about too.
So, and here's the thing. I don't think none of us ever say this until we get attacked. Because we don't go around talking about the things that we do or have done. We just stay in the present moment and try to cater to who fucks with us.
Yeah.
And the fact that you are just so self-proclaimed in this space and this and that, it's just funny that nobody knows you.
Yeah. And that's also the thing. We would never do that. And that shows like where we are a part of the community. Like we've never acted above it. We've never acted like we're very more superior than any woman in this space. Like we've talked about how much skin we put in this game all the time. Yeah, because we've been here for so long. But then when people try to press you about it, you want to call them ageist and shit. Like, girl, that's not the right way to.
Like, no one was being ageist. Like, what?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
And
I had.
How old is she, anyways? Because she can't be that.
No, we're not doing that. That's what we're not doing.
I'll stop.
Because like.
I don't want to attack her physically. I want to attack her argument.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm having issues with, are the things that you said and about us and about everybody else. And I know you're still sitting there on your high horse thinking like you really did something, like you made waves, but honestly, like it was just another sock incident. Like people are going to forget about it. It's like, oh, that's the sock girl. That's what literally everyone was like, this is the bitch from blah, 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 blah.
Is it sock girl? Is it soccer?
And honestly, everybody this weekend came up to us like, "Oh, the leaders in the space."
Oh my God,
it was such a joke. Thank you for the joke, though.
That was a joke.
Thank you.
Honestly, it helped us this weekend at Complexcon. Like we got
so much love.
We'll get into it in a second, but we got so much fucking love this weekend. It's actually insane, and I was not expecting it, but wow. Gotta love it. Is that our ending parts on this?
I don't know, Marissa.
After this, like I'm good.
Marissa, if you ever find yourself in LA and want to come have a conversation on our podcast, it's an open invite. Okay.
It's not for me.
Oh, well, it is for me because guess what? It's an open. I might have to convince these two. But if you want to have a conversation,
you're not coming in my house, Marissa.
Okay, well, let's
we can definitely,
let's do it virtually. Let's do it virtually.
I don't want to cut you off. The only reason I'm saying this is because you didn't watch that live with her. You didn't watch the streaming thing.
I don't have to.
She talks in circles.
You need to watch.
She doesn't answer questions. She deflects. She doesn't talk like
it's
very tone deaf. Like it was like nothing was getting through up here.
Yeah,
and it was like
just watch some
you
of
couldn't
it.
even like lay your pride down just to see what people are saying. And I understand like she was probably being defensive because she felt attacked because it was a lot of people coming at her. But it's like self-reflection, babe. Like be fucking for real. Like if 500 people are
maybe
fucking
she
telling,
is young. Shit.
Maybe like if 500 people are telling you something, like take a look in the mirror. And it's not like you have to listen to people. Yes, be independent, be your own person, wear what you want, do what you do, like blah blah blah. But like people are trying to give you some advice.
Yeah, especially if you want to be if you were trying to be in this space, because we can already tell that like it's the community side is not embedded in you.
But she also said that 13 and 17-year-olds are her 13 through 17 is her demographic.
She did say that. She did.
But my whole thing is this: 13 between 17 has the most time to sit on the internet more than anybody.
Oh, they're the ones that are watching Kai Cenat and look at those numbers.
But hear me out. But when we went to go check yours from your 18 million subscribers, consistently, I've seen a lot of videos with not even 1,000 views. So I'm just trying to figure out where the 18 million subs.
I'm very curious.
The math ain't mathing.
Off streaming platforms, so I don't know what she...
I think she means like all the Shade TV shit. I really don't know.
Isn't YouTube everyone's biggest platform when it comes to this type of shit? Or am I tripping?
I mean, she's probably counting Instagram.
What is Kai? Does Kai stream on YouTube?
I think he's only on Twitch.
Well, her TikTok numbers show that she has bought followers. So I'm just trying to figure it out because you don't have a lot of engagement on there. It's true.
It is.
It's not fucked up, Janelle.
The math.
I'm not saying anything.
We're just saying that the math isn't mathing. No, we're not gonna tell you to be quiet. But like the math isn't mathing, and it seems fairly obvious.
And
like
honestly,
I
was over it after the first day it happened, and then for her to come back on live and do everything, I was like,
to talk about us
and it's honestly like beating a dead horse. I was telling Key that too because obviously Key was trying to basically get through to her, and
there's
it wasn't.
people that
like, girl,
it's
don't
just
even.
there's
Also,
no arguing with them.
The story,
giving Trump mentality.
the
Very
story
much.
that Key told us on the pod when she was here about someone like dogging her, it was
Marissa Hill, being a mean girl in real life.
Yeah, because she confronted her about it on the.
You didn't hear that?
She
I didn't.
She confronted her about it on the
this.
live too, and she was like, "That's not me. Like, I wouldn't do that." Like,
so when
Key
Key was here for the Halloween episode, she had talked about an incident at a sneaker event or like talk or something.
Con or something.
Yeah, something. And she was like kind of excited to meet some people. Marissa was there. So when she's talking about the pod, she's like, I don't want to throw this girl's name out there. Very fucking respectful, by the way. Okay. She's like, I don't want to drag this girl's name, but this incident happened to me. She's like, the some of the partner, I don't know what brands it was or whatever, were trying to like introduce like Marissa to Key, and she just kind of said like Marissa just like looked at her and kind of walked away, like gave her a look. Ooh. Very rude, very mean girl. And obviously that resonated with her. So when this got brought back up on live, Key confronted her and said, well, actually, you were the mean girl. You were a mean girl to me.
She just acted like she didn't remember.
Yeah, she was like,
I guess, or just didn't want to speak to Key at all and stuff. So.
Yeah, because you think you're better than everybody else, and it's the superiority complex.
All right, so let's get into Complexcon then.
But
because, like I said, leading up to Complexcon, all this shit happened, and it honestly like helped us and gave us so much love while we were at Complex.
it kind of
it honestly got our name out there.
But let's make sure when we say that it's not you that got us all the love.
Oh, absolutely.
Because she will easily take this and be like, if it wasn't for me, your little so-called platform wouldn't have done so well at Complexcon.
It was going to do well regardless. What the fuck?
No, baby, we've been doing the work for the last year and a half. So, okay,
our name was going to be said in that building regardless.
Yeah,
just wait. Like for these next few months, and these guests were lining up. Just wait. But anyways, after that died down, we could only resonate on 24 hours because we had to pack and go to Vegas, baby.
Nigga, we had shit to do.
Vegas. So yeah, we got into Vegas Friday. Hit the ground running right away. What?
Oh, I wanted to shout out JD Sports for sending us to Vegas for Complexcon.
Shout out JD Sports.
We were able to stop by one of their stores when we touched down
at Fashion Show Mall.
At Fashion Show Mall.
They hosted us well.
Shout out to Tamia.
Yes.
Tamia.
Yeah, she was very
She's
nice.
the manager there. And also shout out to JoJo.
Yeah, shout out to JoJo.
What up, Devin?
And
hey,
what up, Devin?
Hi, Drake. I'll just say that too. Hi, Drake.
No, we're done. We appreciate the JD team so much. Like, and then we got to shop around a little bit at the store. Really nice location, really nice mall too.
Oh, Fashion Show's really nice.
It was such a nice store.
That's where before Urban moved to Caesar's Palace, it was Fashion Show. So that is a very nice mall. They got a cute little Louis in there. I was gonna say something, but it's competing brands. So.
Yeah.
Well, technically, this episode is not sponsored.
Okay, it was because shout out JD, they sent us there, but the Shoe Palace in there was really cute.
Oh
with
yeah,
the lights.
It was huge.
Well, did you see? Oh, she can't see that well. I'm sorry. I know we talked about Henny not being able to see the screen.
Genevieve
but after this weekend with Henny
and Genevieve were having an argument of who was the blindest.
Yo, we were dealing with blind bitches this weekend.
She's like, no, I'm more blind than you. I was like, Mayor, I'm more blind than you.
She was so Mayor.
No,
Mayor Townsville.
Like Henny, I forgot who it was at what booth. Oh, she was at the Mr. Cartoons booth, and me and you were walking by, and we're walking by, and she's inside, we're on the outside, and she's like this, and I'm like, I don't know who that is, and you're like, with your eyes, squinting. She's like this, Henny, and I'm like, she can't see.
I know people. I would like.
She can't see you
because I don't know who saw me at Complexcon. I just wanted to take this moment, but if you saw me and I looked at you weird, or I just kept walking past, or I was like on some weird shit, I genuinely am blind, legally blind. I should get a check.
Oh my God.
Okay. Now that's out the way.
I love you so much. Like I felt bad because I was like, use your goddamn eyes.
I know. I'm getting some glasses soon, guys. I just got medical. Okay.
But she literally like we were at the bar and she was like, where's the bathroom? And the guy told her and she was gone for like 30 minutes. It felt like, and I looked at her and I said, she can't see, sir. I don't know if she ever found it.
I don't know.
So when you came back, I said, oh my God, she's here.
Yo, I really am blind. I'm not playing.
I
with
didn't
y'all.
know how bad her eyes were
shit
until like literally.
funny.
I think who was it? I don't know if it was you or somebody was like going to get Henny and they're right in front of her and she just didn't even know.
I really can't see. It's really bad.
It's okay though. It's okay. She's getting some.
I have a
glasses,
disability.
But yeah, so thanks for the JD folks for sending
Yes,
us.
we absolutely love you guys.
Really
we
good.
had
Thanks for holding us down.
so much fun. But yeah, let's get into
Complexcon.
Complexcon. Well, Friday was chill. We did not make it to the opening Travis night.
Yeah.
I've seen videos. The line was crazy. We were supposed to be on the list and go during the media hour, but it was just too much.
Yeah. And we had dinner.
And
stuff.
But
I wasn't even there yet. My flight
got
got
delayed.
delayed.
Friday was a little bit not hectic, I would say, but it was just like it was freezing cold in Vegas. I made this note when I was there the week prior. I went on my Instagram and I said, "You guys, it's fucking freezing out here.
It was so
Pack
cold.
accordingly."
Felt like Portland, bro.
It was freezing. The desert though, that's what people don't understand. Like desert cold is cold. Like
yes.
it's very cold. It's hot. The hot is hot and the cold is
cold is cold. Yes.
So but the Travis thing looked cool, but it also was outside and in the dirt. I was like, this is an outside outfit. This is my dinner outfit.
Girl, people want to be inside warm.
But some people did get the shoes. It looked kind of cool. Other than that, I'm not really sure what else to say about the Travis thing.
Yeah, not much to say about that. But on Saturday morning, me and Genevieve and some other ladies met up with the women's Jordan Brand team to have like a little focus group. Huh?
Are you allowed to say this?
That we did a focus group? I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Wait, what?
I'm not gonna talk about like everything that I saw.
Okay.
But we did one, and I got to see some of the girls that I already knew. Got to meet Vashti, one of my girls that finally get to meet her.
Not to be confused with the Vashti.
Not to be confused with the Vashti. Yes. Saw a girl Itchel.
Yeah. What up, Itchel?
And Dominique. I met some other girls there too. But it was really good. We had a really good discussion, had a really good talk about some stuff that they like showed us. But yeah, that was a good time. And then we like literally right after that went to the convention.
And then I was landed by that time.
Yeah, she literally.
As soon as they got done, I had just landed.
I didn't go to the focus group because like after dinner, Jen dropped me off and I was gambling till 2 in the morning, 2:30.
Amazing.
And then I went to bed and my stomach started hurting at 4 a.m. So I didn't get too much good sleep the first night. And I was like, I'm tapping out at the focus group, guys. Sorry. But yeah, we went to Complexcon. They were playing really cool elevator music outside.
Yeah, it was very jazz.
And let me tell you, as soon as we walked in, we bumped into Brandon Dune.
Our bestie Brendan.
Done.
Speedy
corrected us.
No, Brendan was super cool. It was so funny. Like as soon as we walked in,
he was like literally the first person.
Like you know where the big light up sign for Complexcon in the front is that everyone takes their pictures. He was standing right there. So I'm like, oh, let's get a picture of this, and we turn around and he's like, hey guys, he's like, checking the temperature.
I was actually I was like taking the video, and then like I saw him on my phone while I was taking the video. I was like, oh shit,
how
like,
funny!
Hi, he showed. Major
he was like
love.
So excited to see us.
I know.
We were super excited.
He really set the tone for the weekend.
He really did. Like,
because walking in and just being that embraced by somebody like
Brendan.
He was like,
no, we need to take a picture. We need to take a picture. I got to post it and let him know where I stand. And then it's like we support the women and tagged us. Like it was straight love from the minute we walked in.
That made me feel really good.
Brendan was hella cool. Like check, and this, I mean, I met him last year at Complexcon too, because he actually, can I say he gave us our tickets last year?
Yeah,
he gave us the tickets last year. But super cool dude. Honestly, loved his energy. We seen him throughout the whole weekend, and just really funny. He was just checking the temperature. Like, you guys good? Are you guys good? We're like, we're fine. It's all love, we're not coming in here with all that energy. And that's literally how we were received all weekend. And it was the energy was up there.
Then we ran into Malachi.
Oh, yeah.
Nike and like chopped it up then. And literally, we barely got in.
Oh, my God. Like, we couldn't walk 2 feet.
Yeah.
Y'all were showing love, bro. Y'all were showing major love. I appreciate that.
We also headed then to the Echo booth and chopped it up with them over there and just checked out the booth that they had. They had a bunch of like cool archive pieces.
Yeah, they really
we
did.
actually met his daughter.
Yeah, his daughter was there. Yeah. That was really. She had that cute little from the jacket. It was like a little rhino thing. She's like, she didn't want to take it off.
Yeah.
She was very cute. Yeah, the Echo people were very, very cool. I love that. I like that they were there because I know a lot of younger generation doesn't understand what Marc Ecko was back in the day. Such a major brand. And at that, like Marc Ecko is the one who created Complex magazine, which is where we get, you know, Complex Online and Complex Convention, what it is today, even though it's part of Network. So I think that was really cool. And us getting to shoot content and be at the Echo booth for a little bit was awesome.
Yeah,
that was
nice. And there were so many crazy booths there, crazy releases. The Kids of Immigrants was there with Undefeated.
Oh,
and
come on now.
Like,
come on now.
Their activation was nice too. Yeah. They dropped as limited pairs on Saturday and like sold out throughout the whole weekend.
Yeah, I wasn't happy about that.
They only had so many pairs available, but that purple, oof.
I'm gonna let y'all know right now. What? We got a lot of brands giving us a lot of stuff right now.
What the fuck?
No, hear me out. No, and watch, we gonna get them too. Y'all know damn well where them shoes should be on these feet, 5, 6, 7.
You know, it's interesting though. I will say when we were talking about the Sonder in general, not just the Kids of Immigrants one, but the Sonder in general, with a few of the guys after Complex on day one. And you know, they are kind of just like taller, bigger dudes in a sense, and they were talking about how they're a little bit more uncomfortable for them because they're narrow, the Sonders. And I was like, honestly, that makes sense. But I was like, your foot is probably like a little bit wider, you know, because
you need
half size up.
It does look like more of a narrow type of feel. I don't have.
When I tried them on personally, they felt very wide, but maybe my foot is slender. I don't know.
Yeah, I haven't tried on a pair. I don't have any Sonders.
I don't either. I couldn't size swap.
Did you try? Yeah, that's right. So, okay, yeah.
And I still really want a pair.
Yeah, that Kids of Immigrants.
My pair in particular are very comfortable.
I've seen a lot of people. Well, I mean, when the all those colors were coming out around the time of our anniversary, and we had a bunch of those shoes, like people were wearing them shits everywhere. It was like shoes, summer of the shoes.
Yeah,
shoe of the summer.
Summer of the shoes. I like that better.
Guys,
summer of the shoes.
Summer of the shoes. You guys, I literally was out of my goddamn mind this weekend in Complexcon. Like I could not keep it together.
Probably got a whole total of like maybe 6 hours. Ish of sleep the whole weekend.
Let me tell you, we were
coming back to the room at like 3, 4 a.m. every day.
Night. Oh my god.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Collectively, I don't think all of us got 24 hours of sleep the whole weekend. Collectively, and I mean that. I don't think we did.
Jesus.
Like, I don't know how like the people who the vendors and stuff that had the booths that had to be there early, that were out like nights before.
I commend y'all.
Commend y'all for sure.
I commend y'all for putting all that shit up because, man, we was tired.
Let's get into this panel. Then.
Yeah, but it was really
a really big discussion.
Yes.
So we got into the panel early. We were able to get second row seats, but that's fine. We were still.
We'll be in that first row next year or on that stage.
It was really awesome because they actually opened up the panel and dedicated the entire thing to DJ Clark Kent. Rest in peace. Renamed the panel the DJ Clark Kent Sneaker of the Year panel that will be known from now on. And they actually set his son and his family in the front row right in front of us. And
it was pretty beautiful.
Cool. Really, really awesome. Love to see that. And
they made like a whole tribute video to
him.
It was, and you can see like Joe LaPuma getting like,
absolutely.
Oh my god, emotional. Yeah.
It made me a little emotional.
Honestly, I definitely teared up a little bit. Yeah. In that video too, even Clark Kent said something about like this is not a culture, it's a community type of shit. And I was like, wow, how relevant this is right now. Yeah. Crazy. But okay, let's run down the sneaker of the year.
Let's go down the list.
And then we'll talk about the panel overall.
First, we had Joe LaPuma, PJ Tucker, Brendan, and Welty all walk out. Little Yachty did not walk out. He was 30 minutes late. I would just like to put that out there.
Yeah, the panel was supposed to start at 5. I think they came out around like 5:15, and Yachty was still not present. So
nope.
They started the panel off right away. We got into it really quick. One of the things, though, as they were announcing number 10, is that they were kind of going back and forth, and I forgot the exact verbiage that they used, but I kind of wasn't really a fan of the way they say they gave J-Tips the number 10 from his model earlier this year. I forgot the exact number.
Oh, shit.
I know. I'm not.
Is it Omni? No.
I'm not too fluent on my Saucony shoes. Okay, give me time, guys. But I just don't like the fact that it was kind of like they were iffy about giving him that spot.
Yeah, they barely gave it to him.
Yeah, they barely gave it to him in a sense. And like, honestly, I think after seeing, like, I personally feel like his first shoe was the best, and it deserved the credit last year.
I agree with you 100%.
And I think they were trying to make up for that, knowing that they dropped the ball on not giving the shoe its flowers last year. And so
I feel like it was a here.
Yeah, that's kind of like how
it felt like that.
It did. It really did.
And then they try to justify it by saying that was the best one, and it's not. I am so sorry. I am so sorry. It's not the best one. It's a good one. It's a solid one.
He's not put out one bad shoe.
Like, realistically, and we had this conversation with J-Tips after on Sunday, and it's like you single-handedly revamped a shoe, like a whole company in itself, because like I'm not saying that people weren't wearing Sauconys, or I know there's definitely
but in this space of collaboration for them,
in sneaker culture,
and like
sneaker
for collaborations to hit that hard, and his colorways and the things that he's doing, it's he's revamped it entirely
100%,
and has put so many people on, not like people onto this shoe, but like he got West Side Gun on.
A person who has a bigger name than him, by the way. But see, what y'all need to realize is that just because you have a big name, it doesn't correlate to sneaker culture. Hear me out. Because if that was the case, Beyonce's shoes would have sold out at fucking Adidas.
If that's the case, then people would have been wearing them Noctas before the beef. Like,
exactly. I'm telling you, just because you have a name, it doesn't translate to product selling units. And a lot of y'all don't know how business works.
Didn't Cardi B have Reeboks? Like, who's wearing those?
Exactly.
And
names do not equate to numbers. Brands care about numbers, not names. But if you can have both and make it work, that's what makes a shoe fucking good, okay?
Absolutely. And that's going to take us into number 9 going off of that, because they stuck the Nigels.
I was so
Green. They played him too.
And I don't know if I think they were talking about both, like the driveway and the green fence, but like number 9 is so disrespectful
as fuck. I said it so loud.
We were second row, and like we were dead center. So like when we sat down, I was like, right here, we're right in the center. Yes. So like it was just like the perfect, because we were literally interacting with Joe and all of them on the stage, and they were talking back with us. Like, they love the interaction from the crowd. That's what they wanted, especially. It makes for a good panel. It makes for good conversation. But out of your goddamn mind if you don't think Nigel deserves to be higher up on this list, because to the point that you're making, the storytelling, being in the culture, the rollout, the new model, the colorway, the box, it hit so many points that none of these other shoes really came close to. I'm not saying that these shoes on the list, but didn't have like
that shoe should have been. That shoe should have been a 5 or a 6. In my opinion,
been higher.
No, I think it should have been top 3.
Yeah, I feel like it definitely should have been top 3.
Hear me out.
It's my first.
Hear me out.
Yeah.
And I agree with you there. Yeah. But from a realistic standpoint of how they do shit, they should have, at the least, it should have been 5 or 6.
I agree. Because
you have to understand, they're different than what we are.
Oh, I mean, yeah, I get it. But like, they should also still know. And they talked about how the rollout was to begin with. So, like, they should still know what it did for the community and the numbers that it did, too. Like,
I think even, like, I don't know if it was, I think it was Joe or somebody that said later on, too, like, how important storytelling is. So, it's like, if you're saying that, like, Nigel told one of the best stories and had fucking Winslow tell it.
If we're talking about storytelling alone, Nigel told the best story, in my opinion, this year.
Absolutely.
If we're talking about storytelling alone.
Something that you can, like, relate to your roots in that sense and made it come to life. It was so good.
On a new silhouette.
And not just...
There's only 2 new silhouettes on this list. And one of them's higher for no goddamn reason. It's only because of the name that it's attached to. But let's go to 8 real quick.
Wait, I think 3 silhouettes. 9, 3, and 1.
9, 3. Oh yeah.
Okay,
One, yeah,
okay.
excuse me.
But still, number 8 was the Futura Dunk.
Which was, I think it was reasonable.
I feel like that's an appropriate spot. I would have
Yeah.
maybe put it at 9 because as much as I think this dunk is gorgeous, I'm a Futura fan. I love the shoes.
That dunk it was definitely the best dunk that came out this year. We can say
And
that.
also PJ Tucker talked about.
I think like as a whole, it was better. Like as it was received.
Okay. But
like, for our personal, you know.
But I'm really curious to see because like I feel like this shoe is great and obviously it's sold out, but I don't think it was like as impactful as people expected because like, you know, Futura and the Dunkles and like a lot of his stuff in the past. But I am curious to see how this is going to age in the future.
Agreed.
Just like the Dunkles.
Just like the Dunkles, because a lot of the SBs that people like rave about now, like very few people were into back then, you know? So, and I mean, and I know that wasn't actually a SB specific, but like Dunks. But
that also has to do with also going into the boot tanks too, because they put that at number 7.
Yes, number 7.
And
it's so hard for me because like this wasn't on my top 10, but I fuck with this shoe so hard and I love Wu-Tang. So it's like, it's hard for me to be like, I don't think it deserves to be there because I don't want to not give them the credit. But I don't know. I just feel like,
I feel like this. I feel like if the Wu-Tang made it, then the Kids of Immigrants should have made it too.
Oh, absolutely. But they were trying to say...
That's how I feel.
I agree with that because they were trying to say the Kids of Immigrants were too new. But this literally released last week.
Like, the fuck?
Now that I think about it, this was literally last week.
I think because we've been hearing about Wu-Tangs for
oh
my God. We've been hearing about the Wu-Tang Dunks for so fucking long.
Absolutely.
And because it's a re-release in a sense
something that was so rare.
So rare, so fucking expensive, such a grail shoe. That's really
But I'm really curious now to see because have you checked the prices of
I heard they're low.
They're like in the hundreds.
Oh my God.
They're low
below
as
retail?
Fuck.
Are they below
I don't
retail,
know. Let's check while she's in the bathroom.
Yeah, because you sent us your pair and it was like $200 or something.
Yes,
right? Yeah.
I look at 153, 167 right now.
Is the express shipping on there?
Oh my God,
express.
it is. All of them are.
Oh shit!
All of them are express. The most
That's
expensive one are like the 14s and 13s. Literally everything else is.
That's crazy. Because like PJ Tucker and even Lil Yachty were talking about like them.
They were
trying to
150
find a
retail.
pair.
These are literally.
They were trying to find a pair like like the OG pair and like
$75,000. Both of them said that. I found a sample pair size 7 on eBay for like $8,000, and honestly, a part of me really was like,
I'm dead. No, that's crazy. Don't do that.
I know that is crazy. But
please
also,
don't do that.
That would be such a like.
I know that is. I know.
We are not the same.
Let's go to number. Was it 6?
But I will say before we get to number 6, I was gonna make this point that I think seeing. Though I thought the rollout was cool. Obviously, we know the story. It came out on Woo Day. I think that's really, really awesome. I still want the Nike shirt. I overslept on the drop. But I will say I'm curious if they're going to look at the rollout from this and see how semi-underwhelming it was because I know there was enough pairs, but I know with talks of more grails coming out next year is what I'm kind of getting at. If they're going to try to change the trajectory or the rollout with the undefeated 4s.
Yeah.
You know, so they don't, I don't want to say these flopped because I don't think they flopped. They just didn't do what we've seen other stuff do in the past and people go crazy for, which I think a lot of us kind of expected it to.
And I think it also, it's the timing of things too. Like a lot of drops, and even the guys mentioned it on the panel about the undefeateds coming out, the Galaxy foams coming out, the shattered backboard ones coming out. Like there was a time and place when those releases happened and the community was way more receptive on it just because of where it was at, you know? But right now in the time that we're at today, it just wouldn't, none of them would hit the same.
None of them are going to hit
you know?
But my whole thing is this. It was like, if you were going to bring back the Wu-Tangs, I need them to be exactly like the ones that came out the first time.
People were talking about the colors were like,
what did Anthony say in the crowd? He said it was like 1/4 shade.
Oh, yeah.
Because somebody was like, they put the was it Pantone or whatever? Like they
they were like matching it, yes.
Because like a shade off.
Yeah, because if you weren't going to get it all the way right, you could have just came with another way of doing it. In my opinion,
I don't feel like they missed the ball.
Do you then have an issue with the shade being slightly off?
I don't think it looks exactly like the first model.
Okay,
no,
okay.
I don't.
I also do believe that like materials back then. Definitely different.
It was, and we have to keep that in consideration. I agree,
but I will say I feel like a lot of the ones that we see now are probably faded from being old,
and that's true too.
That's definitely
true too.
The color is not.
You have to keep a lot of things into consideration.
Exactly.
I agree.
And I feel like it was pretty damn close, and I cannot wait to get my hands on.
But we also know that Nike is notorious for bringing back models and saying that it's the same shoe, and it's not.
And it's not.
So that's all I'm saying.
Well, I'll just bring it up later. I was gonna say like the elephant print on the black cement 3.
Oh, even the cut's a little different.
Yeah,
we'll get
but that's a reimagined anyways, though.
No,
these aren't
reimagined.
The other ones were reimagined.
The white ones were, but this.
I thought these threes coming are supposed to be reimagined.
This is supposed to be closer to the 89 pair, from what I'm understanding.
Oh,
88.
Then why does it look so different?
Because it's supposed to be closer to the 88 pair. That they said more looked like that back in the day with like not such a harsh elephant print.
And it's actually just a tad bit lower.
So that's
weird, yeah.
But it's not a reimagined.
Okay. Yeah. I think
but anyways, number 6. Action Bronson, New Balance.
I know a lot of people didn't agree with this being at that where it was, but I did because
I think it was a fine placement.
Yeah, a lot of people
Middle
in the crowd
list.
did not like it.
They also mentioned like it's weird where they put the New Balance in the list.
Yeah.
They did say something about that.
A lot of people said that Salehi was better than that Action Bronson.
Yeah,
I
and
low-key
and you were talking about the concept.
Oh, that concept one?
Ooh. Should have been a better New Balance to make the list. I actually don't mind these Action Bronsons though.
I think
like
they're
this,
a great shoe. I think it.
Yeah, 1906 the color is gorgeous. It has that netting.
It's beautiful.
And there was another color that came out with it, right? Or there was a different silhouette?
No, I think it was.
Big Bag Bronson was in his bag on that one. I don't care what anyone say.
I can't.
This blue one.
Wasn't it the running shoe?
Oh, that was something.
Yeah,
that didn't. I don't think that came out at the same time, but it was.
Oh, okay.
It was a running shoe because I want to say that's what Brendan wore when he did the marathon recently.
Oh yeah,
he was on Team Baklava.
That.
He did mention that. Yeah, I feel like middle of the list is really good, and this is the point where Yachty finally decided to show up to the panel.
Finally.
Yeah.
Was at this point in the list.
So he walked in, y'all. He was like, sorry, y'all. I just hopped off the jet.
He did, yeah.
And I was like, okay. And, I was letting it rock. But he came in just a little too.
I'd have been like, damn, you didn't helicopter in?
Right?
Say sorry. So 5th on the list was the Kith Marvel A6 pack
as a whole.
Which I kind of agree with.
I feel like this was very deserving, and I love that they did it as a pack.
Hey, get your ass over here.
Bubba, who you yelling at?
Fritz.
He said, I'm back on the block. Come here, Bubba.
You better hear me.
Hey,
come on.
Stop it.
Let's come over here.
Come on.
Come on, boy.
So, yeah, I think the Kids Marvel pack, very deserving of this spot. I think that whole pack hit. Every shoe on there looked amazing. I think the Complexcon rollout was real. Or Complexcon.
Kith?
No. Comic-Con.
Oh, Comic-Con,
Comic-Con rollout was really cool. I love that they...
With the PSA comic with it. Yeah.
The comic with it was really awesome. I finally unboxed mine. They're absolutely gorgeous. I can't wait to wear them. Yeah, I don't see anything. And then you got the jacket, right? Oh, that jacket.
The apparel was. I also got the gauntlet sweater too.
Oh yeah,
I went back to go get that because it was so.
It was very good because this was the villains pack, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this was very deserving of that space, and I think it was. I feel like there was still there was still people that got their hands on it, and it was still. I mean, I know I did.
Still a nice exclusive.
I was gonna say it was very limited and exclusive. I think it was a good balance of like a lot of people did get it, but it was not oversaturated.
Yeah.
And I think that's also very important to remember.
I know.
Keep him calm. He gets jealous.
Yeah, number 4 was actually quite shocking.
Yeah, and everyone was kind of like,
it was crickets.
Yeah.
It was crickets because it was Kobe for girl dad. Okay, and it's just I think it was crickets because no one's gonna say anything bad about Kobe.
Yeah,
like R.I.P. Kobe. I think this is I love the color. I love the story. Like you said, I think it's a really great shoe.
But out of everything,
I said, this was a stronger one.
Out of everything that dropped this year,
maybe top.
There's 11 more
15.
shoes that like
I feel like maybe top
could have
15, even top like 20 if like, you know, I really went down like every shoe that came. But I don't think it's a bad shoe, but I don't think it was the number 4 spot. I feel like there's a lot more deserving people and shoes in the space that could have taken up that spot. But
just like number 3.
Oh my God.
Cause what in the fuck? Why are these Jumpman Jack Travis Scott?
Elaina said in the crowd.
I looked at Joe right in his eye and I said, how much did Travis Scott pay for this ad? Because number 3
is insane.
I know we're at Cactus Con, but
wild. No,
and that wasn't even the most memorable Travis of this year.
And I think when we had the discussion with them afterwards, I don't know if you remember them saying that they were debating on putting 2 Travis Scotts on the
which
list.
would have been OD.
Which was the
I think the girl,
the yellow pair,
was it? Because they kind of mentioned that at the panel. I don't know if it was the yellow
the
pair.
Elkin colorway of the one.
I don't know if
yes.
it was the yellow pair or the women's released one, because that was a really good.
The yellow pair was a women's release, I thought.
the medium olive. They didn't drop this year.
Not the medium olive, the other one. Wait, was the other one olive?
There were 2.
No, maybe
that women's olive. That women's olive pair you're talking about didn't come out this year.
Yeah,
it came out in 2023.
No, the reversed one that just came out. I got a few weeks ago.
That one. Okay, that one.
It was like the olive, but it was kind of like.
I'm gonna be all the way honest though. That yellow colorway is more memorable than that shoe.
Yeah, but like realistically,
that should have been on the list.
That yellow one, low key, in the sense of Travis Scott, it flopped for a Travis Scott.
No, it did.
Oh, yeah, it did.
100%.
But out of all
that yellow shoe is still more memorable than that shoe that just came out.
I agree. I liked that shoe. I was hyped for that shoe because it was something refreshing. It wasn't beige. It was bright and it had a story.
For sure.
So, but yes, I think it was very bold to put Trav here.
Especially this silhouette. I don't even.
I'm not mad at it. So, like, one of the things they did talk about at the panel is how Travis pulled from all of his favorite shoes, and one of them was the Yeezy, and that this is why that silhouette kind of resembles that a little bit. And I think they were trying to feed us a story to make us feel like, oh, it has resonance with it, like, and it's not like it's a cool shoe. It's not my cup of tea. I don't know. Maybe I need to see it in person or put it on. I guess I'm just like, I think it's just the Travis fatigue we're feeling.
Yeah, definitely doesn't deserve 3.
I'm gonna be all the way honest. Travis shoes were doing the best when his music was doing the best. And I'm not saying that the music that he makes now is bad, because it's not, but is it you know the first 3 albums that we got from him? No. I mean, we were just in fucking what was that the club called? Zook the other night. Travis came out, performed a few songs, and guess what songs did the best?
All the old shit. And the first few albums. And
I'm not a person who likes to live in nostalgia all the time, even though it's important.
I am.
Me too,
but no,
take me back.
I love to go back.
I know. I'm just kidding.
But the present is so important.
It absolutely is.
It is so important. And I'm gonna be honest, the music and the product itself is not hitting like the other shit used to.
Also, going into this weekend, we heard there was a lot of talk on sneaker Twitter about the relationship between Nike and Jordan and Travis Scott, and this might be like the end. It's coming to an end. Yada yada yada.
But apparently now everyone's saying it's not.
I mean, it was interesting to see this weekend, but like, he did so much shit with the brand. Like, I don't think it's stopping if it is, maybe another few years, because
I think he just needs to get, I get he's doing Jumpman Jack, and I think that's really great because it's not a regular Jordan we've seen. He's done the 4, he's done the 6s, he's done
a dunk and an Air Force, an Air Force One.
Yeah. He's done a lot of stuff, and like 500 million one. So it's like, at that point, like, what else could you possibly do?
What's the best Travis to you guys?
Honestly, that first one, but
the first was in those olive women's ones. I really like those a lot. The dunks aren't bad. When Leah had them on the other day too, I was like, okay, they still are a really good shoe.
What is my favorite Travis? What is it? Those purple 4s are really nice. Was it the purple 4? Were those the Friends and Family?
That's Friends and Family.
Yeah, that Friends and Family pair is nice, but the blue one is cool too.
The blue one was beautiful. They didn't come in our size.
My brother has them.
They came in your size. But
I think I think probably those 4s are like, I love the ones, the OG ones, number 1. I think those 4s are 2 for me.
What do y'all think is the most impactful
The first ones.
Yes.
The first ones.
The first ones, and I think
especially
the fours, they did something too.
Oh, absolutely. I think the fours kind of revamped the everyone wanting fucking fours that we've been seeing for the last year. Like, I know it was a big gap in between, but like that kind of, I felt like built the momentum that we like kind of see the four take over.
I'm also dead that old girl said something about us not being in rooms. Something about us being not in rooms, whatever. And then Roya was like,
"Where have you been?"
We were one of like the first people to get a pair of those
Travis
Scott ones.
On my 30th birthday.
What's going on? They didn't say y'all were in rooms.
She was just trying to say like we're not in the same rooms as her.
We know. Marissa?
Yeah. And then Roya clapped back and said,
"Clearly, we're not in the same rooms, babe. We've never seen you before. Like,
okay, got it.
Because you ain't in our rooms either."
Facts.
Yeah, baby, I ain't never. I mean, I know you over that way. First of all, like you over there in the north side. But I could tell you one thing: I was at the Travis Scott activation 2018 with Travis Scott on the basketball court, shooting a motherfucking 3, walking away with shoes for free. I don't know if you've ever done that, but I don't know. I went to Kylie's birthday party that night.
Oh my god!
I remember that story.
Yeah, so I don't know.
You did tell us that.
So where do you be is the question.
All right, let's get into number two, which was the
also shocking.
Fours, the breads that we forgot to put on our list when we were talking about it.
We completely forgot because it was like military fours, and then the bread fours came around similar. I think did the breads come out in like February or something, or like around the same, like within months
March-ish.
Yeah, like within months.
March-ish.
Yeah, and it was like it just kind of
This list was confusing.
But also, I didn't like the reimagined.
A lot of people were indifferent about it. A lot of people were indifferent about the material, the leather.
It looked like something people were like working in kitchens.
It looked too slippery.
I liked them.
I don't know.
I like them. I want to see how they age, but they are not a number 2.
I like the suede pair more, but yeah, definitely not.
Oh yeah, the suede pairs.
But you know what's even more funny? I think this 4 is definitely more relevant than that Jumpman jacket 3. And yet somehow that's still at 3. That makes no fucking sense to me.
Yeah. I mean, I'm most upset about the Nigels.
The Nigels literally should have been top 5 easily.
I'm really mad we didn't see him this weekend.
Also,
really
not to cut y'all off, where was the CPFM Air Force?
We talked about that with the guys afterwards, remember?
Yep, we did.
We did bring it up, and they were kind of like, they didn't really have a reason why they didn't put it on the list, because I was like, one of the things I know they look at too is that in their argument of like, it's too soon for the kids of immigrant Saunders or certain shoes that recently came out, just because we're not going to see how they do. A lot of shoes, the hype is there. This is their words. A lot of shoes, the hype is there, and it dies down a few months later. So how can you be like sneaker of the year in a sense?
Yeah,
but it's like the momentum died on this 4 right after it.
Because I think Welty had brought up too, like sometimes it's hard to project where the shoe is going to be like once it actually drops, and seeing what the community and like what the culture kind of like thinks about it afterwards, and stuff like that. So I think obviously I know that goes into play sometimes too, but some of these they were forgot about.
Not to mention, and this is no shade to none of the guys on stage, but not only did y'all not have a women on the panel, there was no women's shoes on this list.
A lot of people were upset that Nina Chanel's weren't on there, because that was a great rendition of the 3. And like at that too, with the CPFMs, like my point I forgot was like those actually held like a consistent resale value for months after, and people were wanting those. They're not widely available. You don't see a ton of people in them. So I was kind of surprised that CPFM wasn't on the list at all. And to your point, like not a single women's shoe, and there was a lot of great women's releases.
And that's a slap in the face.
Wales
Bonners. I mean, those were my favorite this year, but
women were making noise.
That's the thing. That's really the thing. Yeah,
they were really making noise. And I understand that even the Martine Roses came out last year, but I seen a lot of people this year at Complexcon with them on.
Absolutely,
like the Shocks, right?
Yeah, the Shocks. I seen a lot of those.
The homegirl Janelle, the LV girl that made the earrings, she wore. I seen a picture. She had hers on. I seen a few people in those. I think, if I'm mistaken, was Sin wearing a pair?
I believe so. I need to give me a goddamn pair. I want to
be in the cool crowd.
It just doesn't. It makes no sense, because
like the fashion girl is wearing the Martine.
We had some solid women's releases for none of them to be here. It makes no fucking sense to me.
Well, the number 1 was obviously what we mentioned, the
Mr. Anthony Edwards. Shout outs Adidas basketball. Shout out
that video that they posted of him. I was like, wait, is this man fine?
Michael Jordan's
That's Michael Jordan's illegitimate son. It is. That is his son.
Kind of cute in this. I was like, oh,
He's
okay.
cute.
I see it. Yeah.
He reminds me of somebody I know.
That's the problem though.
He does. He reminds me of somebody I know, like his friends. I just don't want to say his name.
Okay.
This nigga's having illegitimate babies himself, left and right. He is. Y'all ain't heard?
No, we're not gonna get into that.
Okay.
Yeah.
But well deserving. I think everyone
Definitely.
really agreed upon AE1 being. I mean, I think was that our number one as well when we collectively.
I think Nigel's were our one.
Oh, okay. So
I think we had it at number 2.
we had it at number two. Very close one because new silhouette. We heard men from the beginning of the year to the end of the year talking about how amazing this shoe is to hoop in, to wear, and put this on feet for the first time. Well, now like an hour ago.
commercials alone.
The commercials alone were so good. The marketing.
Shout outs to the team
receipt
that
commercial,
executed all
hilarious.
the Anthony Edwards stuff. Y'all were in your fucking Duffy, nigga.
Honestly though, shout out the Adidas team. Shout out Miles and Miles and friend of Miles.
Yeah.
They showed us love.
They showed us so much
We
love.
were with them at Dre's.
We partied.
Night.
Adidas after they
Adidas
won
after
Speaker of
party.
the Year,
Yo.
after party at Dre's with Gunna. Oh, Adidas went
Crazy.
up. Like that was so much fun. And then they plastered AE's face in the shoe on the side of Resorts World.
They did.
Fucking lit. I know Adidas was having them a fucking
I know that's
time.
fucking right, man. Well deserved.
So we getting into this Bima situation?
Oh,
Yes. Wait, before we get into Bima, I would just like to say
We're already an hour and 7.
your girl got her shoe signed by PJ
Oh,
Tucker.
yes.
Oh yeah, one of the best parts of the show.
Yes. So leading
I don't know how it started.
Come here.
I know. I think Yachty had mentioned PJ Tucker's shoe.
Yeah, I think
in
before
some
we got
way.
into number one, they were like gonna like they
Yeah,
were
I don't
talking
know
about
where-
their
I
shoes
forgot
because
where
neither one of their shoes
everything-
made the list.
Yes. But PJ Tucker's made my personal list. And I was specifically
did.
wearing his Flight 89s because I knew I was going to go to the panel and I knew I really wanted to get them signed by him. So I wore them. And
knows
sometime during the panel, like his shoe came, someone was talking about his shoe and I like lifted up my foot and like, look, I have them on. And basically like,
And Joe is like,
he's like, you want them signed and stuff? And I was like, fuck yeah. And
She
so
threw
like,
that motherfucker
oh my God,
up
but the
there.
throw, I don't want to talk about my throw.
Yeah,
Okay,
the
the throw
throw-
was
the
terrible.
throw
I showed it
is-
to Deshae and he was like, what the fuck? He said, you're supposed to underhand.
underhand. I know. I was thinking
The way
that.
I took it off.
Nigga,
too,
we
it
ain't
was just
athletes like
I
you.
know.
The
I mean,
fuck?
I am, but yeah, it was just bad.
Not like
and honestly,
him.
like, I was like a little nervous. You know, I was like, oh my God, it's happening. So like,
Yeah.
obviously I threw it up
because
there.
we expected it to happen like
didn't-
after the show, and they were like, "Throw the shoe up here right now."
Yeah, I was like, oh shit, okay. And then I had the marker on us because we had
Sure you threw that
Polaroids.
marker right.
I know. I was like, so we had
They were like,
That
"Oh,
was
she got a
amazing.
Sharpie."
we had Polaroids printed out of all of our guests. So we were having our guests sign the Polaroids that we had from. So I had a Sharpie on me. So I was like, oh shit, perfect. So I threw that at him too, and he signed my shoe, and it was really
It was really awesome. And then at the closing of that conversation, that was so sweet and wonderful. PJ said something about Yachty's shoe, and Yachty's literally like this.
You slumped over the fucking chair.
Yachty the entire.
He literally
Like,
did not
why
want
were
to be
you
there.
doing that?
Oh my God.
Like it was giving like trying to be like nonchalant
guy.
and cool. Like no, we like people who give a fuck. But anyways, besides the point.
A woman wouldn't have showed up 30 minutes late or been slouching up there, but continue.
But I was taking videos of everything as it was happening. So I seen the clip where it kind of was like PJ was like, oh, you know, I don't know how anyone can even hate on your shoe is what the opening statement was that started it. And then he was like, well, actually online the other day, there was this guy, he was black and he had a lot to say and and Joe is like, I think he's in the audience right there. Because Bima was literally 2 rows behind us. We're dead center.
Yeah.
So Bima's right behind us. And so like Bima stands up and just like everyone starts screaming. And
We're like,
Bima,
You see James in the back too. Stand up.
James. So it was kind of like funny energy, you know, and it's like, oh my God, ha ha ha, like confront, like the confrontation. But then it got ugly.
Yeah,
It got really ugly.
disrespectful because then Lil Yachty, obviously feelings were hurt. And,
Triggered.
yeah.
But
So he kept talking about.
They needed to bring back the old full-size run shit when they put the triggered on top of the
Oh,
people.
yes.
That would have been perfect.
Oh my God,
That would have been
That is
perfect.
so funny.
The meter would have been all the way up.
triggered.
Oh
He
my
definitely
He
was
called him a
triggered.
nigga. He called him poor. He called
like,
him
suck my dick. All this other.
He was
it
like, you have
it
stuff hanging from your mouth. Like,
Oh, I did not catch
yeah,
that. it got so disrespectful, and it just
kept rolling. Like, he didn't stop.
Like, it didn't. Yeah. Like it was very unnecessary.
It could have definitely been a moment for a constructive conversation from Yachty's part.
Ooh.
Instead of like trying to be, and I know people are gonna probably say something to me, like saying something about him being a bully and be like, you guys are besides the point. But it was just like it was unprovoked, number one. I know Bima's video probably touched some chords, and a lot of people do have issues with Bima. We'll get into that after what I have to say, but like, I just feel like it definitely could have been a moment for Yachty to really be like, this is the story of the shoe for me. This is how it was, da-da-da-da-da. Not like, you're this and that, and I'm better than you, and you're broke, and you did this for 20,000 likes and 500 comments. Like, get a fucking life.
Talking
and
about
it's
where
just,
he lives in
like in your apartment and blah, 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 blah. Like, trying to flex on him because, like, you think that your money makes you better as a person, and clearly it doesn't, because your character really shone through, and the internet ate your ass up and called you corny as hell. And here you are also, today, like, apologizing.
Also, he was
because Nike made you.
Also not in a room of his little fans.
No,
and like in
he
this
wasn't.
case, it's totally different.
Well, the community was overpowering his fans, because his fans were in there, but we were overpowering him. But I'm like, the personal fans.
I'm saying that, like, he's a sneaker guy. He should know that. But yeah, he is a celebrity at the end of the day too, you know? But this community is a lot bigger than his fans like that.
Yeah, but
what he's trying to cater to, I mean, and I get it though, like, his shoe is also for his fans, it's for him, yada, yada, yada. But when you're in a room full of sneaker people and you're talking shit on someone who's well respected in the community, like
Marissa was.
Yeah, exactly. Like this is literally the same shit. Yeah, and I know that Nike was doing some hard PR.
Oh yeah, we heard
what the fuck?
Nike's PR was in. He was also talking shit about afterwards.
He was also talking shit about the quality of Air Force Ones right now.
Yeah,
too.
He did.
When he said that too, I was like,
did.
"Yo, what the fuck?"
Definitely did.
But also, I do agree with Bima. Like, he could have done, and I might not know the back. I might not know like the behind the scenes shit, you know, like if they didn't let him cook like that, because it is just a plain Air Force One. And you just put something on the heel.
I had seen a comment saying that maybe this was Nike's way of, like, I feel like they've been testing the waters with like what he can do with a shoe, and they said they feel like they've been doing this with a lot of people, of giving them a basic Air Force One
they do
to
that
see
all
where
the fucking
exactly
time.
And maybe it's testing the waters. Exactly. Oh, so maybe that's like kind of what this was.
Yeah.
Which it does feel like that, but I agree. I don't always agree with Bima. I don't. And we've had this conversation. Yes. I was upset he came for Nigo. I was like, don't come for Nigo, because I'm a huge Nigo stan. But like, I understand why he says what he says, and I appreciate and respect the questions and the conversations he sparks, because I think it is good for the community to be shaken up a little bit and not be so biased and to have other opinions. And like he said, I'm not trying to talk down on you. I'm just trying to challenge you.
Yeah.
Like, be creative, get in your bag. And like he said, it could have been like Nike limit him in what he could do. And
because we've seen it plenty of times of other people getting Air Force Ones. It's like you literally just change the sole, like, and you put something on the heel. Like, what? Well,
it's lacking like creativity, and it feels like that. And then he brought up like how cheap Air Forces have been, and da 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 da. And his did look like they were a nice quality. I'm not gonna lie.
The embroidery on the back.
Embroidery,
I was like, holy shit, that actually looks really good.
It does. But I also think like I know his inspo was like how much he loved the Terror Squad Air Forces. You know, they talked about the Rockefeller ones and like how important those shoes are. But like also those brands and those labels were very, very, very monumental in their time and have stood the test of time. Does Concrete Boys?
It's not on that level yet.
First of all,
I'm not hip with. I'm an old lady at this point.
I'm very really aware of what's happening in this.
But you are on that side. So like Concrete Boys shit, I'm not on, and I'm like, are you doing what Rockefeller and Terror Squad and what these inspirational things were doing?
The Terror Squad shoe was a shoe that was meant to move units. That shoe only had 100 pairs made.
Yeah.
So let's think about that first and foremost. Also, when it comes to, I need a lot of people to know this because y'all really don't know business. When it comes to collaboration stuff from a brand, And when it comes to collaborative product from brands, that is not the product that pays the bills for these companies.
Facts. Oh yeah, it's all the little shit. It's actually the shit that be selling at like JCPenney
in your city specialty stores,
Sears
correct?
And all that shit,
or big box stores
DSW,
like Dick's or things like that, correct?
This sneaker community is really niche. It's
very niche.
It does not pay their bills
at all. At all.
To get off this topic, I don't want you to lose your thing, but which is how Nike shot themselves in the foot when they cut all those middlemen out in the last few years. But continue.
But with it being a shoe that, you know, only so many pairs were made, it wasn't meant to make an impact that deserved to be on a top 10 list. And I could really tell that he felt a certain way that, I mean, that
his wasn't on the list and Terror Squad was.
Yeah, but like I said, Fat Joe. Let's talk about it.
He used to be fat. His name is Joe. You guys didn't see Kike
He's been
Hernandez.
around. Think about
Kike Hernandez said it, not me.
But listen,
I didn't know that. It's so funny.
Think of
at the Dodger parade.
Think about how long Fat Joe's been around. He's been around for over 2 decades.
Oh yeah,
and think about how
3. No, at this
maybe
point,
3
because 90s. No, is that? I feel like 90s, 2000s, 2010s. We're going into 4 decades damn near.
So it took him a really long time to even get a shoe. A person who has been very well respected in the community for decades.
He was on not Room Raiders. What was that? Cribs. There you go.
Licking the soul. Licking the soul. An iconic moment, if you may.
Hell yeah.
No, absolutely.
An iconic moment.
Especially in that, like, for that time, yes.
So when Fat Joe got the placement he got last year, it was very well deserved. And on top of it, there were thousands of units that went global, okay? Your shit isn't global. Your shit isn't, you're not there yet, and that's okay.
That's okay.
We take
that's
time.
Okay. It's the beginning.
But I really hope that Nike gives Yachty the opportunity to create something that is more, I want to say authentic. I'm not saying this wasn't authentic to him, but like shows him, you know, like I want to see you. Like I could actually say like in Travis's shoes, I see him. And and especially throughout the years of his shoes coming out, it has showed
the
where
brand,
he's at in his place.
branding is very adjacent to him.
Exactly.
Just
and
like
we've seen the changes.
J-Tips, just like the Joe Fresh
Absolutely.
goods. Like, even Beema's right here. It's literally him.
Me personally,
it's his hat and shirt. Come on now.
If I was Little Yachty, I wouldn't have went the direction of Concrete Boys personally. And now you're basing your fucking shoe off the group. You would have been better off just individually having the shoe under the name Little Yachty.
He could have put honestly, I'm going to be honest. I only know one song and it's Broccoli. And I probably would have been like, if he would have put a broccoli on the heel, I'd been like, that's cool.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
I would have been more.
Yeah.
But you know, I'm not one to say that. That's his branding. That's his thing. And
honestly, but that's the problem too. There are not enough people that are tapped in at the brand, because if you had somebody who was sitting in the seat that they were supposed to be in, they would have made that call too. I'm being honest. I see this all the time. There are too many people that are at that brand right now. You got the wrong people in the wrong seats. You can that's what the reorg was for, right?
True.
The reorg was meant to shake shit up to get the right people in the right seats. And yet somehow the shit is still not working. I understand it takes a couple years once a new CEO comes in to see the effect of changes happen inside of a brand. Completely understand that. But now that we got some motion and we got some things figuring out, y'all need to figure out how you want to direct Yachty's stuff and his product so it can touch globally to people, because it's not doing what it needs to do right now. And also, it was the best decision for you all to put him in his spot and go make him apologize. Should have been more sincere, because we know it wasn't real.
I hope
it's very obvious.
I hope he actually said sorry to him.
I was just about to say, like, well,
like it seemed like they talked. Yeah.
No, there was a conversation prior.
Yeah. Yachty got on Instagram Live and talked it out, even though Yachty made the comments of it's really between us and not the internet, but you made it
about
everybody when you put this man on blast and cussed him out in front of a room full of people at a conversation panel at a huge convention for streetwear and sneakers. Yeah. Realistically.
So I really hope whatever private conversation they had with each other, like,
I hope
there
was
a
sincere.
sorry.
I hope there was I mean, I hope to see Yachty send Bima a pair, actually, like he said he was going to do at the panel. Send him a pair.
Yeah. And that's also the issue with having some of these people on this panel is that it's one-sided. Like, you have these celebrities, and that's no shade. This is also no shade to PJ Tucker like because he's one of my well-respected people in the community. Yeah. I respect him a lot more than Lil Yachty, like, just off rip. But I think there needs to be more people on the ground.
Oh, absolutely. We said that there. These people are not on the ground
to be on this panel, because that has a lot to do. Because even when Lil Yachty came up. And he was like, okay, we're going to run you down the list real quick. And he mentioned the J-tips. And he was like, well, what do you think about it? He was like, I don't know.
Because they were like joking, like, are you going to buy another pair? Oh.
Yeah, he's like, I don't even know. Like, basically, you don't know what it look like again. So,
and I'm going to stop you right there but this is the whole thing when we had a conversation with Joe and Corey too. They were talking about how he was more so triggered because he felt like he wasn't being respected for his knowledge in this space and how long he's been collecting. But my whole thing is this: if you're so knowledgeable and been collecting for so long, how the fuck did you not know who J-Tips was that year? Who had one of the biggest shoes of 2023? Ooh, my nail broke. But that ass, if you're just this well-versed guy that knows all this shit and you're so self-proclaimed of this, how did you not know that?
And that's an issue too, like, for me. Like, I'll never claim to be I'm the most knowledgeable in shoes all the time, you know? There's shit every day, honestly, every
we don't
day.
self-proclaim either.
I say here all the time, like, I didn't know about that, or I'm unaware, or I don't know about Concrete Boys. I'm okay with saying, like, actually, I don't know. Give me some knowledge. Let me teach me.
Exactly. Because literally, there's something new happening in this community all the fucking time.
It's hard to keep up.
It is very hard to keep up, okay? But there's always something new and there's always something to learn, and you have to be open to that, especially if you love this and respect this culture and community. Like, you have to be open to that. You can't be a know-it-all and expect people to treat you some way like that. Like, no, you have to be open-minded in this shit.
I do want to add this, though, because when we did leave Complexcon Saturday after Sneaker of the Year panel, a lot of people were worked up. There was a lot of conversations, you know, a lot of talk was going on. I mean, there was even talk about within the next day that Nike was going to put a halt on the Yachty release.
Yeah. We did hear that.
Which is, you know, maybe crazy. Why there was an emergency apology live to the public. But besides the point, not where I was going. We were in conversations with a few of your friends from back in Kentucky. And one of the points that was made that I actually never considered were the middlemen and all this as the store owners.
Yes.
And I think, you know, it is a good point to think about because one of them was a little worked up, you know, and talking about Bima and how much his opinions when he's doing that, because a lot of people kept saying it just feels like a lot of Bima's videos can be negative, and it felt like he hadn't really been saying anything positive about recent releases. Right. Unless, you know, some people were saying he favors Joe, and I get that. You know, we say that about other people.
Same with James.
Too.
They say that same thing about him and James.
So, like, I get the perspectives, absolutely, but I do think it's interesting that, you know, for the store owners who have gotten the opportunity to be able to sell this shoe, and then someone comes out and like smears the campaign for the shoe, and then all this stuff follows. You know, they're like
bring people to their store,
and they're like, "Fuck, how is this going to impact us in selling the shoe?"
They might not even get access to buy the shoe to begin with, to then have people purchase it at their stores.
So it just kind of was really affecting the stores that get this shoe, need to sell this shoe, and then, you know, you're saying this shoe ain't shit, blah, 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 blah. So people may not want to buy it. And I think that's one of the things that a lot of the store owners were mad about and kind of indifferent about Bima as well. And I just wanted to throw that perspective out there a little bit too. No, I never considered that.
I think that matters, because from a person, you know, I spent most of my time
in retail.
Especially my last position, I was a buyer. Yeah. So as a buyer,
that's what you specifically did.
It is important that we bring in product that sells. Yeah. That my job depends on it.
Yeah, I actually keep going. I screenshotted something.
But when you do have a lot of noise coming from platforms like Instagram, TikTok, whatever may have you, and it's nothing but negative, you know, things, it can influence certain people. Now, don't get it fucked up. There are people that are going to still buy what the fuck they want to buy, regardless of what the next man got to say. I completely understand that. But there are people out here who hold real influence that can change the trajectory of how people see things, how people buy things, and that affects other people. Oh, yeah. And my whole thing is this. I don't agree with everything Bima says. I think Bima's very educated. I respect the fact that he's been in not only this space for so long of what we're doing, but prior to that, he was working in this industry.
On the ground,
and
doing the work.
He creates opportunities for young black people who have no access to anywhere to get to where he's at. So I have nothing but respect for Bima. But two things can be true at the same time. I can disagree with you and respect your opinion at the same time. You know what I'm talking about?
And that's maturity.
That is true maturity. But where Yachty fucked up, you try to make that man be silenced and act like he didn't have a title or being
or his opinions weren't valued.
Valued. And just because you are who you are, that doesn't take away from who he is either. Yeah. And that was ridiculous.
That was ridiculous.
He saw the backlash.
Oh, he absolutely did. Anyways, so I screenshot this comment Ree left on one of these posts, Needs by Ree, if you guys don't follow him or know about him. He said, I hear 1,000% your perspective as a business owner, talking to a store owner. On one hand, you're excited because Yachty brings his fan base's energy to promote a product in your store. Yes. On the other hand, Bima's honest critique on the product could affect business because he's challenging everyone in the space to do better. You are both right. But the real question remains, quote, could they have done better, unquote. And I really think he worded that very, very well.
I agree.
Definitely.
100%.
Whew. That was only Saturday, y'all. That was literally only Saturday. But I mean, obviously that conversation has spread throughout the whole Complexcon, even afterwards. And I think it's going to be a large conversation towards the end, still towards the end of the year, especially whenever his shoe actually does drop. If it drops to the public, it will be. Stuff like that.
I honestly really hope that Complexcon specifically gives Bima a platform next year and maybe lets him do his own panel.
I'm sure that will happen. He did actually. He did.
I think that would be really cool. Or maybe even put him on Sneaker of the Year panel.
Oh yeah, I think that would be amazing. And like I said, like I was saying earlier, even though I don't agree with everything Bima says, I think it's really important to have people like Bima in the community because people like Bima in the community also give people like us a space to talk what we talk about, because I talk to so many people all the time about what's happening on the internet in the space of where we lie, because we're considered talent, right? And you got a lot of people right now who are saying too many people have mics. Too many people don't know what the fuck they're talking about. Too many people have opinions. There's a lot of people just, talking to talk. And that may be true. That may be true. But if people like Bima, people like ourselves aren't consistent and stay talking, everybody's voice gets dimmed. Nobody gets to actually see change happen within these brands.
I was just about to say, how are these brands supposed to know what consumers want? And I know we don't speak for everybody, but like you said, if people are silenced and not allowed to give their opinion, it's a disconnect between brand and consumer.
It's a huge disconnect.
We are the people spending our money on your product.
Exactly.
We are the people that matter the most when it comes to all of this. So even though Yachty was mad at Bima's opinion, these are the people that matter.
These are the people who are going to make you who you are. What?
No, sorry. What? I just remembered something that happened at the panel.
What
happened? When I was watching back some of the footage, and then when little Yachty was yelling at Bima about suck my dick, whatever, Brendan was like, "There's nothing wrong with sucking dick." I forgot I heard that.
Look, Brendan was like, "I want my girl to suck mine." I'm weak.
Brendan is fucking hilarious.
No, seriously, guys. Brendan Dunn is one of the funniest people on the internet.
No, the champagne post.
The champagne post. Oh my! He was like, "How do I get
just getting closer and closer?"
Dude.
And then he's behind the counter. Just back there.
Oh my God, that That was so fucking
Dude,
funny.
that's fucking hilarious.
He was really funny, but okay.
Aside from everything that happened at the panel, the weekend was just really good. We
It was amazing.
We talked to so many people. We
Thank
connected
you,
with so many
everyone,
people.
for showing so much love.
Seriously, like I just really don't.
Yeah, shout out Yaya at
BBC.
Billionaire Boys.
Oh, yeah. What up,
shout out
Yaya?
the guys at Riff.
Shout out guys at Riff.
Yeah, shout out the Undefeated booth.
Oh,
Danny,
yeah. What up,
Kiss
JR?
of Immigrants. Yes, JR. That was his
What up, JR?
Shout out to Maverick at the Murakami booth.
Yep.
Oh, yes. Thank you so much.
Who the hell did I meet at Reebok? John?
Oh, I didn't go over to Reebok.
Yeah, so, Reebok.
Seen a bunch of people that we absolutely love and adore. Got to visit with a lot of friends.
So many people finally in real life. Shout out
Yes.
to Mickey.
What up, Mickey?
Oh,
yes.
Mickey Monday. Mike.
I love him.
Yeah. Shout out Negs. That's his girlfriend. She came up to talk to me for a while too. Shout out Negs. Shout out everybody.
Everybody.
we
No,
saw.
seriously,
Everybody.
Shout
it was
out Joe
amazing.
Fresh Goods. You know,
Shout out
Shout out Joe
Oh my
Fresh
God.
Goods.
Him in person.
Thank you. That's all I want to say.
I
Thank
met
you.
Frank Cook in person.
Oh, Frank.
Yeah. What up, Frank?
Finally got to kick it with Frank after all
Kick it
this
with
time.
Frank.
Kicking it with Frank. Who else? I feel like there was so many people like hard to keep up with. We got to spend some time with the mayor of Vegas, Miss Genevieve.
Oh, yeah. What up,
herself,
Jen?
Genevieve Chanel.
What up, Westside Gun? I didn't get to talk to
Westside
you, but
Gun.
man,
Jen,
I love you. Love
Jen
you so
got
much.
to interview Westside Gun at the New Era booth. She
Shout
did
out to her.
absolutely amazing.
She did such a good
Thank you
job.
so much. But day 2 was definitely exhausting.
Yeah.
we
And
were just dragging our feet the whole day.
dragging. My
Yes,
feet
we
were
were.
physically hurting.
Me too.
Like-
My feet still hurt.
And I think, like, honestly, closing out the weekend at Zook for Travis Scott, get off of him, was amazing.
shout out Con for letting us sit at the table.
Oh,
Shout
my
out
God.
Con.
Shout out Tara. What up, Tara?
Shout out Tara. Yeah, Con picks and chooses when he wants to love me. So
Yeah, same.
he was like, he walked in because we were in the booth and he walked in. He's like, "What are you doing here? These are my people." And I was like, "These are my people." But
What do you mean?
I was like, I don't know these people.
What up, Jamerson?
Oh,
Utel?
Jam, yeah.
Like,
We got to see everybody.
Saw a lot of people. Yeah.
We saw so many people. It was so great. And honestly, Travis.
Takara.
Takara. I hadn't seen Takara in forever.
What are you doing? I really want her to come back so she can come on the pod.
Come on.
Lauren Levi. Got to see her. That was nice to see her as well. D-Lo. Okay, sir. You need to.
Shout out to Utel.
Yeah.
My brother Utel.
Twin.
But the weekend had to end at some point.
It did. We were tired.
So fucking tired.
We're so tired. Honestly, thanks again to JD Sports for sending us out there, giving us the opportunity to
No, we appreciate that.
showcase everything. Shout out Echo for our tickets and showing love as well. Shout out Complex because next year it's
Shout
gonna
out
be
fucking
different.
Complex.
Yeah.
Man. Yeah.
Y'all did that. Y'all
Complexcon, all
y'all
that.
tried and it succeeded.
I
was
love it in
definitely-
Vegas.
Yes,
Yeah.
I will
actually
say
really love it in Vegas.
we talked about this earlier, and honestly, I really hope year 2 comes with the same energy. It felt like it was a complete revamp of Complexcon.
It felt like a new
It did.
convention,
It did not feel like Long Beach at all.
At all.
Quit being crappy. It did not feel like Long Beach at all. It just like there were so many more people that came out for Vegas
Yeah,
Complexcon.
yeah.
Nike was back.
Nike
you know what
was
I mean? I
back,
think Nike
yeah.
being back as a partner was absolutely amazing for
Same.
the revamp. Travis and Playboy Cardi shutting down. Did you see those videos of the concerts? It was
Yeah.
insane.
I didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't see any.
Oh my god, the Playboy Cardi one I seen today was fucking
Yeah.
nuts.
Oh wait, no, I did see. I think you were. Was it a Ginger?
No, it wasn't
Someone
Ginger's
else.
thing. It was like on.
Vince from Vince. Where does he work? Concepts.
Oh
Yes. He works at Concepts,
Yeah,
yes.
I met him.
Let me see.
But I remember I saw his like mosh pit videos or
Yeah,
whatever,
I think
and
that.
was
Look
like,
at
holy
live from the pit. Look at this.
shit. Live from the pit is funny.
Is amazing.
Look at these fucking kids.
Oh my god!
This is why my old ass did not go to the concerts.
This
I
is
got a question for you.
See?
Oh my god.
Oh my god!
But the
so
funniest
funny.
thing, oh my god, the people at Zook were were nuts. And the guy, okay,
oh my God.
we're in
men were on top of men's shoulders.
Yeah,
or attempting.
trying to see Travis.
As soon as Travis came on, right, the crowd starts getting crazy and it's packed in there. It's like a fucking concert. He comes out to Z shit. You know, as soon as the beat dropped, I looked at Genevieve. I said, ooh, Travis about to come out. And her homegirl was like, nah, you think? And then he came out and I was like, yeah, the beat, he's on this song.
This?
Like,
I had no idea.
yeah, as soon as I heard the Z shit beat, I was like, ooh, Travis. And
Came out early.
there was like, yeah, it was like just
Thank
after
God.
2. Thank God. I couldn't do the 3 o'clock.
It was
Me
like
either.
2:30 and I was like, oh.
Yeah, we were planning on leaving at 1:30.
I know we were.
And we
I'm glad
were-
we didn't though. It was actually fun.
It was
yeah,
fun.
Yeah.
Once we
It was
kind of
a lot
got
of-
situated, because
Yeah,
at first it was
yeah.
kind of like, we were.
When we got to a table,
we were
yeah.
tired.
The club need to play
dinner,
new
I
music
was
though.
fucking
They be
falling
playing the
asleep
same
at
music for
dinner.
20 fucking
It's
years.
Vegas.
Yeah.
Vegas
They
clubs.
have to play
That's
those.
why I like Dre's, because they play hip hop. Like
Yeah.
that's why
I was like,
to
what
go
the
to
fuck?
Dre's.
Shout out to DJ Night Train. That's my homie Omar. He was DJing at Dre's that
yes.
night. He's amazing.
But the guy on the the crowd starts going up. Everyone I kind of stand up. I know I'm tall. Sorry to the people behind me, but I had to see. And then this girl gets on this guy's shoulders. She's bouncing around. Then this guy gets on his homie's shoulders, and I'm just like, these
watching
Travis
it.
fans are different because ain't no way this grown man just got on another grown man's
that was
shoulders and jumping up and down for Travis Scott. Like I get it, but it was also like. What?
Oh, I forgot they did a shock drop, the sneaker shock drop of the Travis.
The cactus.
And you got like a little card and you're supposed to scan it and then the shoes will pop up. You can purchase it. That shit sold out in like 3
0.5
minutes.
seconds.
That's
It was
crazy.
insane.
Yeah.
I was literally screen recording it to like just show like the process and everything. And then it was there. And then I scrolled down to just look at the whole like page. And when I scrolled back up, it said sold out. I was like, oh my fucking God. That's so crazy.
Which is crazy because even with
Shout out to Charlie Mack too.
Yeah. What up, Charlie?
even with the Travis fatigue, like obviously his shoes are still gonna sell out. But I'm really curious before we close this out because we're pushing almost 2 hours.
Yeah.
I'm just really curious if people are buying these shoes because they want them, they think they're a great shoe and they're going to wear them,
No.
or they think that there's resale value in them.
I think it's always going to be
Both.
resale.
I think it's both.
I understand what you're saying. I do think that Travis
There are
has
some
core
fans. Yeah.
fans, of
Oh,
course.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Those crowds are serious.
No, they're very serious. But when we think about what Travis started in this community, as far as like, look, there are new bots that exist just because of Travis Scott product. Okay, like people who aren't even into Travis Scott are going to attempt to get it just because they think they're going to get some money. Like, and it's just so embarrassing. Y'all be getting like $50, $60 on top. What are y'all gonna do with that? I'm so sorry. You know how much it costs to even breathe, go outside, pay bills.
Expensive.
And I understand it's like, oh, every little bit counts. Not to be doing all that. That's embarrassing. And that's coming from somebody who don't got a job.
That's why I never got into the resale. Even
Oh,
at
I don't have the
working at a
energy for
fucking
resale.
shop, like I've never got into it. 'Cause I'm like, this is so much to do to get so
It's
little
corny.
I
in
have
return
no
sometimes.
energy for resale, and even the shoes that I have to take to the shops to get rid of that have been sitting up there for months. I'm like, I don't have the energy to take these shoes in to get priced and get rid of.
embarrassing.
Like,
Don't take them yet.
And on top of it, y'all niggas is late to the game.
That's what I want.
If y'all weren't in the streets in 16, 17, 18 reselling, you already missed the boat, baby.
That was
You missed
that
the
was
boat.
prime time.
That's when I was working at Mag. Yeah.
That was prime time.
You're
That
just
was-
putting unnecessary stress on yourself at this
I
point.
know, honestly.
Yeah.
Especially now. Everything's
It's
sitting.
embarrassing.
You know what I'm really this is getting off topic, but you know I'm really surprised that I have not found for like a decent price yet was this fucking Paper Girl Asics.
It's because not many units get made
Yeah,
compared
and
to
I'm
like other
like-
things. Yeah.
That would have been on my
Honestly,
top
that's how I
10.
feel about the
Yeah.
Jackie Robinsons Air Maxes too. I haven't found.
Oh yeah, I
any
forgot about the
decent.
Air Max.
Yeah.
But yeah, this weekend was great.
Okay, wait.
Go
Okay,
ahead.
you go first.
Well, I'm just saying next year we're trying to be in some bigger rooms.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely are.
I've been saying this a lot lately, and so we're gonna put it out there in the universe. Sprinkle. We want a panel.
Yeah.
We want a panel. We want a conversation. It doesn't
Yeah.
have to be Sneaker of the Year panel. I want us to do a panel of all women.
We want Complex Conversations Women Edition.
Yeah. We do.
Absolutely.
Putting our foot down on
We
it.
absolutely. I think it would be
If
really
not,
awesome.
Give us a booth.
Something.
Give us a
We'll
booth.
do something.
And we'll do something.
We'll show you the people that come out.
We'll make some shit.
We'll show
shake.
you.
I think it would be fun. But before we wrap up, I kind of want to ask you guys, what was your favorite part of the weekend?
Honestly, my favorite part was Janelle getting her shoe signed.
Oh,
I think that was amazing.
That's what I was gonna say.
I think it was well deserved. And not only was it good for her, but it brought light to us too. It was an important moment.
Honestly, because right after that,
Joe was like, they have a podcast.
He was like, "Thank you guys for being."
Oh
so
yeah, people were like sneaky league in the crowd and stuff, and that felt amazing. So yeah,
and I don't know who, I didn't see it. I just heard someone say, "Oh, and like their podcast."
It was Joe, and
was
like
Joe?
I think Brendan said something to him, and then
did they say the name of our podcast?
I don't know if they did. I think
one of them did, not everybody.
Every clip got cut off, and I'm like, does anyone have if anyone has
video
of me getting my shoe signed, that whole moment, please send it to me.
Yeah,
please send it to us.
But yeah, I feel like my favorite part of the weekend was after that, when we were in the hotel lobby and Joe and Welty stopped us, and we had Janelle was at the Nike event.
Nike had like a secret like soccer tournament.
Yeah,
with Travis
and a lot
Scott,
of people
whatever.
were there.
Yeah, there was a lot of people there.
I didn't want to go because I was fucking tired. I was like, no, I'm getting
actually
drunk in the hotel. I'm off the clock.
No, because
cool,
we literally were just walking and they stopped me and Elaina.
Yeah, well, I seen them coming and I was like trying to like say something to Henny, like, oh my God, it's Joe and Welty, and like Joe did a fucking beeline for us and was like, you guys in the front, like, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. And we ended up like, because we had actually been talking to Brendan like right before that.
We literally just left from talking to Brendan.
Talking to Brendan. He was heading up to the room. We were talking to him for like 15 minutes. We went and did something. We came back. We ran into Joe and Welty. And then we ended up talking to them for like 20 minutes in the hallway, just going over like the whole list. We ran the list with them, got their opinions.
And they wanted to hear what we had to say.
Yeah, and like, it was just very validating and just kind of nice. Like they were really, really awesome, funny guys. And I think that was just like my favorite part because it was just, I don't know, it was like behind the scenes. Like, I want to know what they really had to say about the list.
It felt like real, recognized real. You know what I mean?
No, it absolutely did.
Spider-Man me.
Yeah. Excuse me.
So
it was funny because it was two of them and two of us.
Yeah.
It wasn't because we had one missing and they had one missing.
Yeah,
so it was really
were
funny.
missing.
Yeah, exactly. So that was really awesome. But yeah, Sneaky Leak shut down Complexcon.
Man.
Not really, it was Bima, but
but like we definitely had our moment. We had a moment.
I love
we
that.
did.
Yeah.
Just wait till the Sneak of the Year panel drops on their YouTube. Y'all will see it all.
Yeah.
I'm sure it'll drop in like another week or so. It's only like later.
Honestly, though, no. Remember last year? I don't even think.
It took like fucking a month.
Over a month. It felt like it took forever.
Oh, goddamn.
But amazing weekend. We're definitely coming back next year. So
for sure.
And we might have merch. Maybe we'll have cups.
Maybe we'll have the cups. Shout outs to the cups.
I might still drive next year because the way that like we got so much shit.
I didn't even consider that.
God, you are so right.
I was actually glad that I drove to fit everyone.
Well, after kind of, I prefer the flight, but like honestly, after seeing when you guys had left, even the middle of the afternoon on Monday, like traffic wasn't that bad. Like, I kind of looked at the like your like when you were driving and like there's only a few areas with like traffic, but like I was expecting to be like traffic, which is one of the reasons I was like, I don't want to drive. I'm scared of the traffic.
There actually wasn't, but I think because a lot of more people flew in.
Yeah, a lot of
people.
Leah had gone to the airport at 5 a.m. She said that shit was packed.
Yeah,
I bet.
Yeah.
So that makes more
mind
sense because
we might need to take I might have to fly here next year. We take a big ass SUV or some shit.
Oh, let's get a Sprinter.
Ooh, that'd be fun.
You never know.
Let's get a sponsor to Sprinter us.
Yeah.
That would be honest.
Sneaky Leak Sprinter.
Can we get someone to wrap it
with the logo on it? Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
And I got a Vegas drive story, and I don't want to tell it on here, but I got to tell you guys this one crazy story.
Also, they already announced Complexcon next year, October 25th and 26th.
Get ready.
Right before Halloween.
Yeah.
The weather will be better. It won't be as cold. So
hopefully.
I'm excited to see what's to come. And who is it? Daniel Arsham? No.
Yeah, so he used to do, I think, objects and something. He's done it. He has a few
like
brands.
His stuff. Yes. I've seen. That's why I just wanted to make sure I was saying the right person. But is that it, ladies? Are we wrapped up?
Well, let's wrap this up. And, we'll talk again. Well, we're obviously going to keep talking about Complexcon throughout the end of the year anyway. So make sure,
as always,
if you have not already, go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube on Sneaky Leak podcast, YouTube.
Please and thank you.
If you're listening to us on any of our audio platforms, Spotify and Apple Podcast, Sneak a Link Pod. And don't forget to hit that follow on Instagram.
Please and thank you.
Road to 10K.
We're almost there.
We're almost there. Yeah. And until then, we'll talk to you guys next week. Our next episode will be my birthday.
Okay, bye. Bye.